It's so good to be back here with you all at this annual tradition of raising the pride flag. And I couldn't be happier that our friends at the Utah Pride Center are still here with us after all that 2020 took and gave and taught and transformed. We need the Utah Pride Center, and we need organizations that lift voices, that celebrate diversity, and that bring more love into our communities. And that's what this flag means. That's why it's going to fly over City Hall yet again. And that's why Washington Square is being transformed into a space of celebration and celebration of diversity in our culture here in Salt Lake City. We have just a sampling of the amazing hundreds of people who are volunteering, dozens of organizations, corporations who raise their hands every June and say, we want to be a part of celebrating diversity and all that LGBTQIA plus community brings to Salt Lake City in the state of Utah. With everything that's happened throughout the pandemic and that continually is unfolding, that is exposing the bones of inequity, oppression, racism, and injustice in the United States of America, it is even more important that we support organizations like the Utah Pride Center who are willing to do this work, not only with city government and the state legislature, but most importantly with our communities who need it. So I, as the mayor, underscore Salt Lake City's commitment to continuing this partnership and the celebration of love, equity, and inclusion in our capital city. And I'll turn the microphone over to the executive director of the Utah Pride Center, Rob Moolman.
About an hour ago, this popped up on my phone. It was sent to the Utah Pride Center's Facebook page. The LGBTQ community is more than a community to me. It is where my heart belongs. We have to endure so much, and yet we continue to thrive and give the best of us. Sometimes, well, most times, no one really notices the details, those tiny spaces that hide the pain. It is hard, really hard, but we do not let that stop us. We do not let that keep us down. We are people, and just like anyone else, regardless of their sexual preferences, we all want the same things: to love and be loved, to feel and be felt, to give and receive, to learn and to teach, and most importantly, to be accepted as we accept. Because in the end, all we wish to be is seen. That is from Kelly Arroyo, a Latinx individual who moved here from San Juan about 18 years ago, and they gave me permission to use their name and that wonderful message to the Pride Center. Pride Month is here. Our community is here. We are important and we are worth celebrating, and we are resilient. Woo! So good afternoon, Mayor Mendenhall. Good afternoon to everybody here. I've done 3 or 4 of these things. This is the largest crowd we've had, and since it's my last time doing this, I decided that the boa was coming with me. So I'm sorry that this is a little much for some, but I am so happy to be here. And thank you for all the work that you are doing and that your city council has done, and for this flag raising today. The theme of our Pride Week this year is our history, our stories, and our community. And this is not going to be a Pride Week like any other. I'm so excited and humbled that it is happening due to the work of so many people behind us here, the volunteers that have come, the team at the Pride Center. I'm so joyful that we're able to hold a series of events that focus on our history, our community, our voices, our stories. The schedule for the week has been carefully planned to raise the voices and to bring attention to our communities, our leaders, to bring those stories that we haven't heard to the fore, and to allow those who have been disproportionately affected by COVID to raise their voices, tell their stories, and to be seen not only in this space, but also really speaking loudly and importantly at the march and rally on Sunday. Today, however, is the time for us to see our leaders in action, and to call other leaders and elected officials to action for our community. We know that visibility matters. We know that seeing our leaders openly acknowledge our communities and see our identities matter. 1 hour ago, and we believe it's the first time in Utah history, Governor Cox issued a Pride Month declaration for our communities. We thank the governor and the lieutenant governor for that. It is something incredibly special, and it's very difficult to put into words what that actually means. But I want to acknowledge the work of Mayor Mendenhall and the Salt Lake City Council, where this leadership has been seen and where their leadership influences so many towns across the state. I want to thank them for their unflagging support of our queer community, and for whom this is not the first time that they have done this work. So thank you. As we gaze around this particular place and see the reimagined and the unique event that we're going to be hosting this week, I want you to really think about the idea of what Pride is about. It is about bringing visibility to our community. It is about celebrating. It is about connection, and it is about reflection. We've made strides. Yes, we have the governor making a declaration. But we have so much work to do in our queer BIPOC communities, in our trans communities. And the Pride Center will be there and keep going as we move through this work into the future. We're only one of about 5 Pride Centers that still connects our Pride Festival with our center to raise money for the incredible work and services that we're able to offer there. Cradle to Grave, our SAGE program, our youth program, our trans program, all that sort of mental health program, our suicide prevention work, all of that is funded by events like this, incredible donations and gifts from donors and supporters, and of course grants that we receive. It is wonderful to be part of a center that's focused on the health of the queer community since 1991. So in conclusion, for a long time there, I wasn't really sure if Pride was going to happen. It was devastating to lose it last year. We adapted and we did that amazing road rally, but I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. And 2020 and 2021, I think, have taught us so much about ourselves and our communities. And in thinking about this speech today and what I wanted to leave you all with, and this community with, and the press with, and whoever else might be listening with, is I was reflecting on all we've gone through, where we're going, where we're going to be going, and I was thinking about the queer community in general. And I wanted to echo what I started with when I read Kelly Arroyo's quote when they said, "We do not let that hurt and pain keep us down." I was initially left with the immortal and important words of the 1990 poets Chumbawamba, whose song Tub Thumping was, "I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never going to keep me down." I then thought I should do something a bit more serious, so I went to my personal hero, Nelson Mandela, but you know what? He said the same thing. Nelson Mandela said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fall down and then get back up again." So to all of us who have gotten back up, to the mayor and the city council, to the people behind me, to our Pride team, to the community out there, we will keep getting up. And I'm going to finish with this toast. I said this morning that I wish I had a mimosa. I think we should have mimosas here next time, but perhaps sometime in the future that'll happen. But here is a toast to the Pride community and the queer community of Utah. Here's to the people who get back up more times than they are knocked down, who will give more than they ever expect to receive, who will show love to others even when their own hearts are broken, who smile at the sad times, who light the way for others, who spread laughter and joy, and thank you for making the world a better place. Cheers. Happy Pride 2021.